Hi guys, there is a saying that your outer world reflects your inner world. So if your outer world is out of control, then stay tuned because in this video, we're going to talk about what that could be a sign of. So guys, the outer world is representative of your inner world. For some people, might be a bit scary because your outer world might be all over the place at the moment, moving into 2022, or you may just feel like you're not really happy with your outer world. In other words, there are shifts, there are changes going on in your life or in your emotional body, which haven't yet transferred themselves into your outer world, but you're feeling yourself just lacking motivation to keep doing what you do day after day, or you felt within you perhaps that there's some sort of power, some sort of calling, some sort of change happening in you, and you're trying to work out what it is. What you do know is doing what you've done year after year, thinking the same way, being in the same pattern isn't serving you, and you're a bit unsure as to what to do next with that, right?
Yeah, and if we're not changing and shifting and becoming a brand new person over and over and having these rebirths, we're not moving from that caterpillar to the butterfly. We're meant to change. We're not meant to stay stagnant in the energy of the old. We're moving from the low frequency, the connection to all the low realm energy flows, and plugging into the high realms, into the high frequency energy flows with the divine. We're raising our frequency, so that means we have to shift and become these brand new shiny people and the beautiful butterfly. So if you're feeling like you are shifting, you are on the right path, and you are becoming a brand new version of yourself, you're stepping out of this version and into this version. So moving through December and January, we're moving through this new portal, this new chapter, and it's probably been quite intense for you because it has for us. And we're shifting and changing and becoming this beautiful being now.
So within us is so often, especially if you're on this channel, you're looking at this sort of information, the sort of person who finds this information has often had buried within them for a long time some sort of calling, some sort of knowing, and often we push it to the side. We're busy, right? You've got a life, right? You've got to go to work or build your career or your business, and there's kids or a relationship and all these different things taking away from us really knowing who we are and what we're doing. So distractions, life, things, being busy. But what can be underneath all of that is some sort of feeling like we're here for some reason, or there's some greater purpose to what we do in our life day to day. I mean, surely we're not just on here to sort of live and exist and accumulate as much as we can, pass it on to the kids, and off we go. Wow, that was my life, in and out. Hopefully there's some sort of bigger reason to that. And this calling comes through for people. And sometimes when you're having an awakening, you get to this point where you can't ignore the call anymore. And for some people, they lose their health. For others, their relationship falls apart. For other people, things happen in their business or their job or whatever it may be. The changing environment and the political situation for a lot of people recently has been a big wake up. And when that shift starts to happen in the outer world, it is a great opportunity for you in the inner world to use this shifting and changing energy to embrace change for yourself. So looking for your purpose, your meaning, what can you do, is very often a person realizing they're starting to move out of service to self into service to others.
Yeah, that's right. So we look at this realm as well, the spiritual realm, and some people have been in it for a long, long time, and they've attached to certain beliefs and patterns to make them feel safe. And so now we're having another energetic shift on the globe, and it's asking us and touching us and triggering us into the new version of ourselves. So like, what do your relationships look like? Are you giving unconditional love? Do you give praise and accolades to your loved ones? Do you let your kids know that you love them dearly and that you're so proud of what they're doing in their life? Are you sharing this vibration with the people around you? If not, we have to ask why. Why aren't you stepping up into the next level of frequency, which is a 5D love energy, where we are transferring these beautiful praise and accolades and, you know, flourishing and watering each other's seeds? Are you plugged into the matrix system still, but you're awakened in the spiritual realm? We've got to look at all areas of our life to make sure that we are, you know, complementing every point.
Because it's one thing to read about it, you know, it's another thing to watch a YouTube and go, oh yeah, love and light, you know, empathy, understanding. Yes,
oh yeah,
yes,
I know that. I've done that. Yeah, I know about that.
I learned that years ago.
So it's like, how is your attitude? How is your personal power stepping out into the community? Is it smiling at people as you walk down the street? Is it letting someone in traffic and just blessing the human experience? Like, what is the talk going on in your heart, mind coherence every single day? Like, are you judging people still? Are you like projecting on people? You know, you might be a keyboard warrior out there. That's okay, because it's all stages of the evolution of consciousness, but we need to start plugging into that 5D. If you're in this realm, the energy wants to push you up out of the old version and into the new version, which is 5D consciousness.
So this is where we start expressing the higher vibrational expression of ourselves, really of your soul, like who you really are. So your joy, your enthusiasm, your spark ties right in with empathy, understanding, love, peace, all the different things that so-called spiritual terms. But be the sort of person who shows up energetically for your family, for your work colleagues, for yourself. You're that demonstration of a higher vibrational energy person, a higher vibrational spirit, an old soul, a wise soul. I mean, if you're coming back for this time, if they say we lined it all up before we came in, you'd want to have a good time. You'd want to muck around and have a bit of fun and not like take yourself so seriously, but enjoy life and share that light to others. And this is part of the challenge, taking the inspiration and turning it into a living example. This is how we can help to be the light. This is how we can be helping to fulfill our mission, because that sort of positive person, that positively calibrated person counterbalances hundreds of negative Nancy's, hundreds of people who are lost, depressed. And if the earth is shifting, if there is an elevation of consciousness during this time of ascension, the mission, first of all, is heal yourself, because you can't help anyone else if you're broken. And we all go, oh yeah, well, we'll do the work. But it's clearing out yourself out emotionally, mentally, and physically. So then that spiritual aspect of yourself can soar, because we're a 4-part being. And very often people are just focused in 1 or 2, I mean, sometimes 3 of those areas, but when all 4 walk together, that's when you can really fly.
And so what we find in a lot of our sessions is that people are coming to us and they've got like the spirituality all done, but they mightn't have the emotional body sorted or the physical body. And so like the first step is just to exercise, eat healthy, drink clean water, be kind, compassionate, show up and give praise and accolades and water other people's seeds. It's showing up in every area of your life to live and be in that high vibrational state.
So when you want to connect better, a great way to how do I connect better is to first of all work on the things that might be stopping the connection in your physical, emotional, and mental body. I mean, so often people, they want to connect better, but they're still crippled down with negative thoughts and worry and fears, and they get anxiety and they can't meditate, or they can't switch off, or they lie there in bed at night because their brain's jumping around active. That is not the right state to be in from a mental aspect. Or they might be punishing their physical body and they're not exercising enough. They're all blocked up, as Roxy talked about. That density physically is affecting your ability to spiritually connect. And then so many of us like emotional connections hard, feeling love and giving love. Like, do you tell your friends and family, the people who you actually really care about, how you feel? Have you got dynamic relationships? Is those range of emotions present in your life? So I'd love you to throw out the challenge to you guys to do a bit of an audit as to where you are physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually, and set yourself some goals and objectives for continual growth, so that not just connecting into higher realms and getting like the bliss and the understandings and the knowings and the synchronicities and the intuitions that we're all excited about if we're on this spiritual journey, but then transferring that into a life where you're physically, emotionally, and mentally growing as well.
And taking that action.
Then you fly. Hey?
Yeah. So taking the action on every area of your life. We have to take the action to receive the energy. That's the forward movement. And that's the law of a universe. So yeah.
Yeah. And let us know in the comments below. Drop us a note on what you're strong at and what you're not so strong at. Because certainly I know for myself that for many, many years, I was going pretty well physically. I've always been pretty fit and active and looked after myself. Mentally, I was disciplined and doing what I should be doing, getting myself through life. I certainly wouldn't have been a negative person or a badass, so to speak. You get what I mean? And spiritually, it was kind of parked there. But like a lot of guys emotionally, I was pretty shut down. Like I didn't really ever tap into my feelings or my emotions. Or if I did, I only chose to let the high vibrational ones come through. Yet we've got a range of emotions. So I could be silly, I could be fun and, joke around, but I wouldn't want to go to, like sadness or go to vulnerability. Oh, talk about that one. Or out of control. I like to control things. All of these different things, as I learned to explore them, helped to grow me in that spiritual aspect of self until I realized, hang on a sec, I think that's my strongest one. That soul coming through so strongly is being supported by those three. So drop us a note. I'd love to hear how you're going in the different ones. And this is an area where we can all help one another and the planet during this time of shift, change, and ascension.
Very good.